Hi, I'm Amanda Daynard, and I'm directing Love's Labor's Lost in 2018. The thing I love the most about Love's Labor's Lost is how honest it is about the human condition. It is a real journey of innocence to experience, and it works the way life works, which isn't always the way we think of Shakespeare plays working, which makes it incredibly unique. And I really, really find it funny and moving and compelling and smart and just kind of brilliant in all sorts of ways. The thing I find most challenging about Love's Labor's Lost is the language. I firmly believe that Shakespeare wrote in English. It's in English, and as audience members, we should be able to understand everything. So that's challenge one, because that can be difficult, actually. Challenge two, then, is what do you do with a Shakespeare play that also actually plays with what language is and makes language jokes? It has language jokes, which are kind of amazing and also some of the hardest things to communicate well to an audience without making it simpler than it actually needs to be. So, that level of wit and self-awareness and irony is part of what makes the play so challenging, but not in the way like Brussels sprouts are challenging, but you should eat them, but in the way that you feel smarter after listening to it. And that's what I'm hoping to really bring out in this for people. I'm interested in finding how a contemporary music approach, something that feels like it's of the vernacular of today, can actually put meaning and deepen the meaning of what is going on in the Shakespeare text around it. Not in a way that turns this into a musical, that's not the intention, but in a way that creates a different kind of context for the scene or for the emotional experience of the character, and provides a texture that can be romantic in a way that the text doesn't always actually allow the space for. And also, a lot of people have said that it's unique in the plays and that it only has a song at the end. And the song that it has at the end is really quite perfect for the whole story, because it's about what things are like in the spring versus what things are like in the winter, which is standing in for what is life like when you're young and what is life like when you feel not so young. And that is at the center of what this play is about. So the kind of, I could say bittersweet or melancholy of the underpinning of the play, I think a lot of the music will also be able to carry that. Two of the characters in Love's Labor's Lost are named Barone and Rosaline, and they encapsulate a lot of the play for me in one of their final exchanges, where Barone is he's really quick-witted and very, very funny character. He can make a joke out of almost anything, and it's, the sort of joke that it's funny and smart and perfect. He's that guy. And Rosaline is incredibly insightful. And at the end of the play, when the characters are all going their separate ways, she tells Barone to go spend a year making people in hospitals laugh. And I just think that's amazing, because we don't live in the easiest of times right now. The world isn't an easy place. And one of the most important aspects of living in a dark time is retaining our ability to laugh and our ability to relax, our ability to go somewhere else in our heads. It's not about escaping, it's about counterbalancing the harshness of the reality that we live in. That's what Rosaline is really telling Barone to do. And that's a big part of how I can understand why you want to see Love's Labor's Lost now, because it's going to let you laugh, and it's going to let you cry, and it's going to let you spend some good time in a space that is not your own living room. Love's Labor's Lost is not one of the more produced Shakespeare plays. It's not always up on the roster. And here at OSF, you do the canon, which means we actually get a chance to do the plays that aren't just kind of Shakespeare's greatest hits. We get a chance to do all of them. And I really enjoy doing the ones that people don't know as well, that are considered to be difficult for whatever reason. Sometimes it's language, sometimes it's plot, sometimes it's context. Those plays are, to me, so rewarding because I don't believe they survived time just because they were written by a guy named Shakespeare. I believe they survived time because they are human and they are universal. They just are often different from what we expect Shakespeare plays to be. And Love's Labour's Lost is, I truly believe, completely unique in the canon. It does not conform to what we expect a romantic comedy to be. It also doesn't conform to what we expect a tragedy to be. And it also doesn't do what we say the romances do, which is sort of walk the middle. Love's Labour's Lost is just different. It's just different.